So, as I have always, we are going to start with the breath. Be mindful that your breath is the tool to changing how you feel just by changing how you breathe. So I'm going to take a few moments this morning to remind you of some breath that we've done in the past. Today we're going to focus on flushing the lymph nodes and strengthening the lungs and the kidneys so that we can enhance our immunity system. So find a place that's comfortable. If you're in a chair, make sure it's a hard chair. Something like your dining room chair would be helpful. Otherwise, stand up or be on the floor. You have options. I'll be switching back and forth through all of them, and we'll be working all the planes as we go through our class today. So the first thing we're going to work on is our breath, as I mentioned. I'm going to use my little toy. So I'm going to use this to assimilate the breath. I want you to breathe along with me. So take a long breath in. Feel your whole body filling with that breath. Sustain it in your body for a moment. Exhale. And when you feel like your breath is empty out of your body, breathe out a little bit more. So completely empty your breath. Begin the next one. Feel the fullness of your breath. So see if you can feel your ribs expand on the inhale. Sustain that in for a moment. Exhale, long, slow, and full. Feel your abdomen moving in toward your spine. I'm going to repeat again. Inhale. Exhale. Just in case you're not sitting tall, this time as you inhale, see if you can feel your ribs separating from your pelvis. So lift the ribs, the bottom of the ribs. And just keep the spine long. Exhale. Feel the abdomen move in toward the spine. 2 more. Feel free to close your eyes. Inhale. And exhale. Fully push the breath out of your body. Last one. Feel your ribs expanding. Spine is long and tall. Feel every cell in your body. Just imagine your whole body is hollow, full of that breath. As you exhale, empty every little bit of breath away from the body. And when it feels like your breath is empty, draw your abdomen in and push out a little bit more. Good. And just within that little moment of 6 breaths, see if you notice a difference in how you feel. Remember, during the day, if you're spending a lot of time watching TV, it's important to get up, move around, and really focus on your breath. Especially if you're able to take a walk, even if it's just around your living room or around your house. Think about your breath with every step that you take. And try that as an exercise to get yourself disciplined and thinking about connecting your breath with your body. It is a way that the monks have practiced, keeping their mind and their movement connected together. So that's our goal today. Regardless of whatever else we do, remember the golden rule is to do as much as you're able, and don't worry if you aren't able to do what I'm doing, okay? Just going to do as much as it feels right for your body. So give me a second to transition back to the chair. So if you're in a chair, you'll know how to proceed. So we're going to start here in the chair just so that we're on level playing ground. In the future, as I go to the ground or standing, if you aren't able to get out of a chair, I'll show you what to do. First thing we're going to do, being forward on your chair, lace your fingers, and just as we were doing, we're just enhancing that breath by putting in the movement, lifting up to the sky. Push up through the heel of your hands so you feel the length in your body, especially between the ribs and the hips. Part the fingers and exhale. If you've had surgery in the breast area, just lift your arm as much as you can. Don't sweat it if you can't lift your arms high. You're just going to come up as much as you can, push up into the sky, and exhale. One more. Breathe in. And this just helps to keep the weight up off of the organs. So gravity's sinking us down. We lift up and push into the sky so we can get the circulation moving through the organs and the side of the body, especially through the spleen and the liver. These are important for our digestion, right? So keep in mind that if you are sitting a lot, try to sit forward on your chair. It helps to keep the shoulders over the hips and you'll sit taller. Let's do a little spinal twist to warm the spine. If you're on the ground, one leg is going to go out and the other leg is going to cross over. In a chair, equally, you can cross the ankles. If that's available for you, bring the knee over top of the other knee. I have black on black, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to spin around this way just because I have my right leg over the left. I'm going to bring my left arm across my body. And now bring the other hand to the back of the chair. So my hand is close to my tailbone. Bring yours as much close to your spine as you're able. And then use the hand to lengthen the body on the breath in. And as you exhale, twist looking over your right shoulder. When the spine is long, you'll feel this in the abdominal area and the lower part of the spine. Don't worry about how far you twist to look behind you. You're just going to twist as much as it's comfortable. Come back and align your spine. Go to the other side. So I'm just rotating so you can see what I'm doing. Bring the arm across. Other hand is going to come near the tailbone. Use the chair as your prop to help you. And again, focus on keeping the spine tall and twist. And just do as much as you're able, keeping your chin parallel to the ground. Easing off, align your spine. Go to the other side once again, crossing the legs. Whatever leg is on top, the opposite arm is going to come across the body. Some styles will have you do the same arm and leg, but here we're doing cross patterns to break patterns in the brain and to make new neural pathways in the brain. So it helps to strengthen the body's habits. Opening those pathways in the brain enhances your learning. Twist. Come back to center. And one more time to the other side, crossing the leg. Bring your arm across, lengthen your spine, twist. And gently come back to center. So we're going to do spinal cord breathing. Again, this is for the flexion and extension of the spine. If you're on the ground, you can just be sitting in a pretzel shape, or if you want to come up onto the feet, the toes are bent under, and I'm sitting back on the heels. And that is, again, to bring the shoulders over the hips. So this option also opens up, I'm going to take off my socks so you can see my feet easier. This helps to open up the nerve endings in the feet, so the toes are bent under, and your heels are sitting on your sitting bones. Or you're just in a chair where it's comfortable for you. Wherever you are, you're going to curl the tailbone back, squeeze in your shoulder blades as much as you can, and look up and give a big smile in. And as you exhale, tuck the chin to chest. So spinal cord breathing is a variation that's used in both Qigong and the Dalian practices. Lift up on the inhale, exhale. There is two poses called cat and cow in Hatha yoga. This is the same movement. Breathe in, exhale. The difference is we're not on our hands and knees, so if you have knee or wrist issues, this is a nice variation. You can even do it while you're standing. Breathe in, look up, and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now, when you push the spine back, draw your abdomen in and really bring your chin in and the elbows together so you get that nice curve in the spine. Breathe in, look up. Exhale. Inhale. Smile into the sky. Opens up your heart, so you want to invite joy into your heart. Exhale. 2 more. Breathe in. Exhale. Last one. Breathe in, look up, big smile, and exhale. Release your arms. Take a breath. If you're on the floor, you're going to sit any way that's comfortable for you. In the chair, just stay as forward if you can. The key again is to try to keep the organs and the intestines open. And just as a reminder, when you're sitting, if you start to slouch back, so from the side, if you see me rolling back, this is really, for some, relaxing, but if you get used to sitting up on your tailbones, this will not be comfortable because you'll be more aware of how crushed your intestines feel. And when we crush the intestines and close off the bottom of the liver, closing off the diaphragm, it's not comfortable. Your body doesn't get all the benefits of the oxygen moving through it as it normally is intended to be. So sitting tall is what I want you to practice when you're not watching any yoga classes on the screen. This is the best thing you can do for your body, is just sit tall, okay? So we're going to do a little bit for the neck and shoulders to open up the shoulders. We'll keep reviewing each of these little things to reinforce what you may have seen earlier in case you didn't remember it. The point here is to open up the back of the heart, the place between the shoulder blades. So my arms come out to the side with my palms up, and as I exhale, I'm going to curl the shoulders. So see from the side, I'm rounding my shoulders. Bring your elbows in toward each other. If they don't touch, just pretend they do. Open your fingers like you're holding a big party platter, planning for the end of your self-isolation. Stretch out through the fingertips. Keep the wrist level with the elbows and press out. So the heels are pushing on a heavy metal door, the elbows are touching together, fingers are stretching out toward the ground. Keep the ribs lifted away from the hips. Focus on your breath. Don't forget to breathe. Keep pressing through the heel of the hands, and now lift your little finger, just the little finger. So 4 fingers are stretching down, and the little finger is stretching up. Take another breath and lift the ring finger. Inhale as you lift the middle finger, so the index finger and thumb are pointing out, pressing through the heel of the hand. The elbows still keep drawing together. Breathe in, so just your thumb is pointing out. Push through the heel of the hand, stretch out through the thumb, empty your breath. And now lift all the fingers and point them back toward your bicep. So you're pushing through the back of the wrist now. Make sure you're not gritting your teeth or holding your breath. Take one more exhale and then roll the knuckles together so the top of the wrist touch. Elbows are going to stay high. Bring your hands out like you're parting water. Bring your arms as far back as you can and then curl the wrist. So we're wrapping the tendons. It's really good for the joints. Just curl the wrist around. And now lift your elbows and bring the elbows forward as you stretch up through your fingertips. So again, from the side, I'm curling the elbows forward to open up the back of the spine, and I'm reaching up through my fingertips like I'm trying to tickle myself. But the key is to keep the elbows up. You'll feel a big difference with your elbows up and down, right? So up and forward, like you're trying to bring those elbows together. Lift the ribs so you don't sink into your spine. Don't forget to breathe. Move your chin in so that you're not moving the head forward. And release. Take a breath and just notice the difference in how open your shoulders feel. So we're working the tendons from the spine through the shoulders, through the elbows, wrists, and fingertips. We're only going to do one more in this series, just so we don't spend so much time on that. We'll move on to other things today. Bring your arms together as we did before. Remember, curl the shoulders. Keep your party tray. And now we're going to imagine that you're going to serve your party food to the friend beside you. So keeping the wrist in line with the elbows, slide your arms to one side. Curl the wrist. So in this, here's what my hands look as they're forward. My hand, the heel of the hands roll together, the thumbs come together. Arms are to the side, stretch out through the fingers, and now lift your chin and look over the shoulder, push through the heel of the hands, stretch through the fingertips, keep your spine tall, look over your shoulder like you're trying to look behind you. Don't forget to breathe. And slowly release your arms. Again, you'll feel this right across the top of the shoulder. If you're feeling it in other places, that just means that's some area that you're working on opening up before you feel it in other places. Each time you do it, as your body opens up, you'll feel it a little different in different spots. Let's try the other side. So elbows together, hands in front, slide them to the opposite side. I need to move my happy chair here. Curl the wrist. I'll lift up so you can see. Looks like the chair might be interfering. Stretch out through the hands. Look over the opposite shoulder. So notice my wrist is in line with my elbows. The fingers are open like a shadow art bird, right? Straight out to the side like you're serving your party platter to your friends. Fingertips are open and wide and you're pushing through the heel of the hands, looking over the opposite shoulder. Focusing on your breath. And release. So the amount of time that you hold any of the postures will help your body open a little deeper as long as you stay in a relaxed state of mind. And how do you do that? By concentrating on your breath and not really thinking about what you're doing with your body. It's the breath that lets your body release and open up. So the more you turn this off, the more the body opens up. We're going to come to a standing position. So if you're on the floor, transition up. And you can either do it with a forward fold or just use your chair to help yourself up any way that you need to. Otherwise, you can come into a forward fold. Roll up through your spine. Just again, come into it as whatever way works for you. Keep the chair nearby. Again, maybe you have a wall or a countertop where you're practicing. All those things are quite helpful to have close by. They're just there for support until you feel stable. So my feet are on the floor. I lift my shoes a little, my pants. Lift your toes up, spread them out, and then lay them back down on the floor. You'll feel all four corners of your feet and the 5 toes on the floor. And that's what will help you feel stable. So if you struggle with balance, this is what I want you to practice. We've done this a lot in our class at Richland Mansion. So this is what I want to reinforce so you don't forget where we've been before we get back together. Keep your feet planted and without moving your feet. We're going to do an isometric move. And this will help you feel strong in your legs. So again, if you struggle with balance, This is a way to help strengthen your legs and make you feel a little more self-assured. Do not move your feet. Just imagine that your inside ankle is going to press out to the outside ankle. So I'm just moving the ankle out toward the outside of my leg, pushing it. It's an isometric move. So the feet do not move. They do not lift up. Your toes stay planted. Just hold as you press, and you'll feel that engagement in your legs. Curl your tailbone under just a little bit and lift your ribs up. Stay there without clenching your teeth, and notice how you're feeling, keeping that long breath. This will help build strength in your legs. Now ease off. Shift the weight into one foot. Raise the other foot. And we're going to do little swings. So again, use your chair or a wall as you need to. And remember that the movement does not have to be big. You can even let your toes slide on the ground if you need to. But the key is to lengthen the ribs. So your spine is going to be lifting long. A little tuck in with your abdomen. A little tuck under with the spine. And let your arms swing freely, or just keep one on the chair. Use your fingertip or whatever you need. Remember, there's no wrong. It's about keeping the movement here in the hip. We're getting circulation flowing into the lymph nodes here. And we're loosening up the hip. I just kicked the wall. And now we're going to switch. And I'm going to go at an angle so I don't kick the wall. Lift your toes on the standing leg and then spread them out. Lay them back down. Sink into the knee. And again, little swinging. Just let your leg feel loose like you're on a swing set. Feel that freedom in the hip. Remember, the hips are the center of your body. So everything else just sits above it or hangs below. So this part is a very important part to keep open, because if you don't keep it open, then everything gets stuck. Good. Now we're going to lay that foot down. Take a moment, just feel how your hips feel. And again, just to loosen up those hips, widen your feet and make circles like you're circling a hula hoop. Whether you're doing Qigong or yoga, it's the hips that are the center of the body. It's where a lot of people have issues. Before we go into opening more of this part in the front of the groin, we're going to just make sure that the hips are ready for us to go into some different moves. Reverse in the other direction. So think about your tailbone making that circle. My knees are softly bent. So from the side, see that the knees are bent, pelvis is forward, just like you're circling the hula hoop. Let's do 2 or 3 more in the other direction just for the health of it. And now we're going to open up the quad. So if you're in a chair, you still could have been doing those hip rolls, and you would just roll like this around your sitting bone. So for this move, we're going to be opening up the quad, front of the groin, and I'm going to demonstrate standing using a chair. If you know what a lunge looks like, that's fine to go into your lunge, but what I want you to focus on is making sure that your knee is right over your ankle. So it's helpful to have a chair or something nearby so you can bring your toe near the chair, bend the knee over the ankle, lift the ribs, back toe is up, and then press the heel down and bring your shoulders over your hips. So you'll feel the opening here in the front of the hip. If I'm sitting down, it's the same movement. I'm on the front of the chair, so the one leg is off the chair. This front leg is going to slide back. Practice pushing your knee to the sky. Doesn't matter if it's not straight. You're practicing, right? You're just taking this class as an assessment. See how the front leg is? You want to try to bring it so that the heel is under the knee. Push back through the back leg so you can feel the tension through your back heel. Square your shoulders in front of your front leg. And now whether you're standing or you're holding onto the chair or you're in the chair, tap. So you can do this as long as you want, but the more you tap, the more you're flushing out the toxins in that lymph nodes. So you can even brush the hand over the front of that thigh. Bring the knee forward. We're going to switch to the other side. We'll come back and we'll add a variation the next time. So slide the thigh to the edge of the chair. The other leg's going to come back. Again, if you're standing, you're just switching to the other side. You're not judging yourself, you're just assessing where your body is today. Remember, wherever you are, it's where you're intended to be. So please don't judge yourself. Eventually your body will open with repetition. Push the knee back, push through the heel, lift the ribs up away from the hips so your spine is growing up like a tree in the sky. Take your hand and tap on the front of the area where the knee or the thigh connects to the pelvic area. That's the area that we want to tap into. If you need to lean forward because it's a challenge in your lower back, that's okay. This is the area we're focusing on right now. But eventually you'll want to try to shift the shoulders over the hips, just so you have the integrity of the spine. If you've had some lower back issues, when you lean forward, draw your abdomen in and lift the ribs up. So as you come forward, it takes the pressure off the back by having the abdomen engaged. And now bring that leg forward. Take a breath. We're going to switch to the other side. If you are standing using a wall, we're going to be doing a twisted warrior of sorts. Variation here to make it a little easier. So slide the leg back, push through the heel. Try to move your shoulders over your hips the best you can. And now you're going to take your hand close to the back of your chair and reach for the back of the chair. The other arm's going to lift up, reach up into the sky. See if you can feel the lengthening from under the arm through the hips. Stretch up as high as you can. And then move that arm also to the back of the chair, or maybe the side of the chair. And again, push back through the knee. Lift your chin and turn to look over your shoulder, like you're looking all the way behind you to see the foot that's in the back. Take 2 to 3 exhales. Gently return. Bring the leg forward. Remember, you're going to go with your range of motion. So don't be concerned if you're not twisting or moving into the posture as much as I am, because it doesn't matter. You're going with what works for your body. So push into the back of the leg, push through the heel. Use one hand to stabilize yourself. Lift the other arm up. Reach up and feel that stretch to the side of your body, all the way down into the hip. Take a breath in and stretch up a little higher. And as you exhale, bring your hand to the back of your chair. So both hands are on the chair in some way that works for you. Twist and look over the shoulder like you're trying to look at the foot behind you, and keep pushing through the back knee. So this is still going to lift up into the sky. Easing off. Come back to center. Bring the leg forward and position yourself forward. We're going to do a little hip opener. So some of you know a variation of a chair squat. Just take a chair if you're standing. This will be much safer for you to be in a chair. If you have hip issues, just cross your ankles. If you're able to bring your ankle to the knee, that's another option. You're just going to slide the leg, foot up the leg as much as you can, okay? And then try to bring that other foot in toward the chair. Lift the spine, draw the abdomen in, point your chin out, fold your body. So when you start to lean forward, instead of curling and rolling through the body, don't be concerned about how far out you go. Instead, think about keeping the length in your body, and you're going to fold out straight from the hips. So point the chin, keep that abdomen softly engaged, so as you guide out over the body, you're going to pour any tension through the hip and into the earth. Let your head hang forward. Roll your arms forward. Again, close your eyes and just relax your forehead and your jaw. With every breath, let your body sink a little deeper. Then drawing the abdomen in, push the spine back and roll it up through your body. Concentrate on pressing back through the spine as you come up through each vertebrae. Unwind the leg. Let's go to the other side. Again, just notice if one side feels a little different than the other. That just means you're normal. The ankle's going to be on the thigh wherever it's available for you. Hand lengthens the spine, draw the abdomen in, fold out over the leg. Again, close your eyes. And with every breath, feel your body emptying a little deeper into the pose. If you feel your abdomen crunched up, just lift up a little on the inhale, lengthen out, fold a little deeper with the exhale. Again, keep a long, slow, even and soft breath. And when you come out as much as you can, just let your head and arms hang. So everything is empty. Drawing the abdomen in, press the spine back and curl up through the body one vertebrae at a time. Unwind your legs. Take a breath. We're going to do that again to each side, not for torture, just to remind you that the second time you go through a pose, it will help your body loosen up a little more. So we're opening the hips in the front and the back of the body, but since we tend to sit a lot, hopefully you're not sitting much. But let's open both the front and back of the hips. So the hands are near your sitting bones. Lift up, point out. Keep the abdomen engaged. Come out as far as you can, lengthening out through your spine. And once you come out as far as you can, just roll everything forward. Soften your head, close your eyes, and be inside your breath. Feel your arms empty. Empty your head. Draw the abdomen in as you press your spine back and curl up through your body. Just recognize any differences in how you feel. Switch to the other side. Again, ankle over the thigh, lengthen the body, point the chin out. Fold out from the hips. Lean forward as much as you can and then roll the shoulders, empty the head. And with every exhale, see if you can feel your body let go a little more. Just practice releasing with your breath. Draw the abdomen in and push the spine back and roll up through your body, one vertebrae at a time. Unwind your legs. Now come forward on your chair. Bring the inside of your feet together and open your knees out to the side. If you're able to bring the bottom of the feet flat, that's great. You're just going to do what you can. But again, support yourself with your hands behind you. So again, we're keeping that spine tall and we're just letting the knees hang out, opening the hips. If you're on the floor, you're in a butterfly position. So again, we're opening up this quad, this area here where the knee, or where the thigh bends. Bring your knees together. Align your feet with your knees. If you're on the ground, you're going to have your knees bent. Hands are going to be behind you with your fingertips lifted so that your hands are there supporting you and you're not sinking back into the wrist. So keep the fingertips up and the abdomen drawn in and lift your ankle in line with your knee. Focus on your breath. You can point through the toe or push through the heel. It's a matter of whether you want to feel the strength. Either way, you're going to feel it in your thigh. If you're on this chair, you're just going to hold the legs straight out. And again, make sure you're not sinking behind your spine. So the hands are on the chair to lift the body up. Keep an engagement here in your abdomen, and that'll help stabilize your pose. And now release. Take a breath. Again, feel your sitting bones underneath you if you're on the ground or in the chair. Keep the ribs tall, draw the abdomen in, and just imagine that your chest is lifting up to the sky. Think of that upward movement of the posture. Extend the other leg. So, leg is straight out if you're in the chair. Knee is bent, parallel to the shins parallel to the floor. Fingertips are behind you. Ribs are tall, abdomen's engaged. We haven't done this one for a few weeks, so it's a good thing to strengthen up the legs. Slowly lower the legs. Take a breath. If you're in the chair, I want you to slide halfway back for stability. On the floor, again, fingertips behind you, abdomen's engaged. You're going to lift both feet if you can. If you can't, just leave one down for 2 breaths and then switch to the other side. Otherwise, try to leave both up. Fingertips are here, abdomen's engaged. Look up toward the sky. Make sure you're not clenching your teeth. Slowly lower the legs. If you're on the ground, you're going to extend your legs straight out in front of you. In the chair, come to the corner of the chair, opening the legs a little wider for stability. We're going to do a forward fold. So if you're in the chair and you would rather stand up, that's also an option. Lace your fingers, lift your hands into the sky, point your chin as you fold out over top of the legs. Look down toward your pedicure so that your chin is long, keeping that spine long, and then drape your body over your legs. So, floor or a chair. Or standing. Wherever you are, keep your upper body empty. your head relaxed. Start coming out of the movement by using your abdomen. So draw in the abdomen, push the spine back, roll up through your spine. Bring your head back up over your shoulders with your eyes closed so you can just keep your mind in your body. Again, notice if you feel any different. So our goal is lengthening the lower back, opening up the kidney area. We're going to repeat. We're going to add a little variation. So push into the sky. Remember, if you're on the floor, your legs are straight out in front of you. Bring your hands behind you. Draw the elbows back. Open up your heart and look up to the sky. Smile really big. Now draw the abdomen in and point your chin forward, and as you start to lean forward, let your hands empty down toward your feet. Look toward your toes as you relax your arms and empty your head. Every time you exhale, see if you can feel your body empty a little deeper. Take one more breath and let your body go limp. Keep your upper body empty and bring your hands behind you and make little fists and tap your lower back. Try to come up underneath your rib cage. Again, we're tapping the adrenals. If your back feels tender, maybe you have back issues, this is a really nice way to give yourself a little massage. If you used to get massages before everything came to a halt, this will feel really good to you. Now let your arms empty and lace your fingers behind you and lift your arms upward. So again, if you're looking forward towards your toes, whether you're on the floor, in the chair, or standing. Relax your neck and shoulders. Slowly bring your hands back to your hips. Slide your hands down the side of your legs. Draw your abdomen in, push your spine back, and roll up through your body one vertebrae at a time. Take a long breath in. Good. And now we're going to do one more thing for the lungs, not the only thing, but when you're doing a backward bending pose, it helps to open up the lungs, the heart, and the thymus and the thyroid. So the thymus is here, the thyroid is also in that general area. And without getting very specific because of time, our goal is to lift up and open. So we can think of thyroid as opening with the O in thyroid. Thymus, the chin and chest are in, or we're tapping. But here we're going to work on the thyroid. So in the chair, I'm going to bring my hands behind me as much as I can. Squeeze in the shoulders. Do this on the ground if you're on the floor. Lift your ribs up. Look to the sky and start squeezing your elbows in together. Take a long breath in and just visualize your heart connecting up to the sky. Feel your chest expanding. Exhale, release. If you know fish and you want to do fish on the ground, that's an alternative. So I'll repeat this one more in the chair and then remind those who know the fish pose. Squeeze in, lift the heart. Let your head hang back as much as you can. If you were on the ground, Your arms can be back here. You could be on your elbows. Lift the chest. Hands can come underneath your glutes. Just going to walk your elbows in. Lift your heart and let your head hang back. Wherever you are in the pose, lift your lower jaws so you get a nice long stretch through under the neck, through the chest. Keep lifting your heart up to the sky. Fill the body with breath once more, and then lifting your head, let your body sink down to the floor if you're on the floor already. Melting into the floor. If you're in a chair, we're going to go back to that forward fold. So an alternative would be doing child's pose, whatever works for you. Lift up, fold out. Sink your body out. If you have had enough of forward folds, your other alternative is to sit all the way forward in your chair. Bring your elbows back. Sink the back of your head to the top of your chair. So you wiggle the hips down as much as you can. Straighten out your legs, but make sure you're not sinking in the lower back. So if you have a block, you can put it behind you here. And just let your arms hang. Put a little grin on your face wherever you are, if you're on the floor in a chair. And as you breathe in, feel that breath moving up through your body. And as you exhale, feel it draining out through the bottom of your feet. Just let your body sink a little bit more. Breathe in, fill the body up. And exhale. If you lean back in the chair, bring your body forward, and we are going to fold. If you're on your back, bring your knees to your chest. Wrap your arms around your knees. Give yourself a big hug. If you're more flexible and you want to just bring your knees up to the chair, this is another option for you. Just let your head hang between the knees. Take a moment to feel your body, giving yourself a nice little hug as much as you can. And again, with your eyes closed, press your spine toward the sky as you roll your shoulders and head back over top of your hips. Feel free to close your eyes. Go into your breath. And as you take a long breath in, fill every cell and crevice in your body with that pure breath. And as you exhale, release any thought from your mind and any tension from your body. Inhale again and fill every cell, every bone and joint and tissue. Slowly release. Take one more breath in. Exhale. Come to any seated position that works well for you. So we're going to do another breath to end our class. Our goal is to be mindful that the breath is how you can change how you feel, just by changing how you breathe. I like to end with alternative nostril breathing, just because if you still have some anxiety about your whole situation, remember you can't control a lot of things, but you can control your breath and you can control how you're thinking about things. So instead of thinking about all the things that could happen or that are happening that we have no control of, let's just concentrate on what you can do. Any kind of movement to get the blood flowing, always being inside your breath. So we're going to end with alternative nostril breathing. Remember, this is where you're using an index finger and thumb. This is a most simple way of teaching. There are many ways of connecting the fingers to the nose, but this one is one that once you go back to driving, you could do this at a red light if you're feeling anxiety. I notice the traffic's getting heavier again, for unknown reasons. Close off one nostril, breathe in and fill your body, lengthen your spine. And when you feel the whole body full, sustain it. If you'd like to count, you can. Some people count 4, 6, 8. Close off the nostril. You just breathe in and breathe out through the other. Go slow. Release the breath completely. Again, breathe in through the first side. Close off the nostril that you breathed in and breathe out through the other. Again, breathe in. Closing off, exhale. Fully empty your breath and now breathe back in through the other side. Inhale. Feel your ribs extending away from your hips. Close off the nostril you breathe in. Breathe out through the other side. Feel free to try this with your eyes closed for the next 3 breaths. Breathe back in through the side you were breathing in. Closing off, exhale. Again, inhale. Closing, exhale. Do one more. Breathe in. And exhale. And if you haven't yet, close your eyes for just a moment. In this moment, recognize the difference in how your body feels now and how it felt before you started. Feel the breath flowing through your body. And then bring your hands together and let your hands find one another. Separate the 3 middle fingers so that your thumb and your little finger are touching and the other 3 fingers are spread apart. This is for lotus flower meditation. Bring your thumbs in toward your chest. Tilt your chin in. The lotus flower is representing the inside of the heart. So looking down into your heart. Put a smile on your face even if you aren't feeling it today. The intention can change the message you're sending to your cells in your body. You have the ability to be good and kind, loving and joyful for being in the body that you've been given. So looking deep into the lotus flower or closing your eyes as you like. Feel your breath filling and emptying from your body. Place that smile back on your face, and in this moment, with your mind inside your body, pay gratitude that every cell and bone and tissue is performing to the best of its ability. And that each of us were able to be here today, making that choice on our own with our own mind, to see, touch, taste, smell, and hear all the sights and sounds and brilliance of spring. Gently let your flower close, closing off the heart, sealing in that loving energy to yourself. Remember to smile often. Smile first inward to your own self, thanking your body for moving through your healing process. And know that each time you smile within, it's brightening that light that's there to guide you on your path forward. And each time you Zoom someone or have a conversation, put that smile on your face because they may need it even more than you. I hope you have a beautiful week, and maybe I'll see you on Monday at 10:30 for Qigong. If not, I hope to see you next week at 1:30. Have a beautiful week. Namaste.